The Lost Years of Jesus. History's greatest mystery. Throughout history, there have been missing pieces in the stories told about many great leaders and prophets. But none contain as much mystery as the missing years of Jesus Christ. The Bible covers the period from the birth of Jesus to the age of 12. We know that at the age of 12 he argued with the wise teachers in the temple in Jerusalem and astonished them. After that, there is no mention of Jesus in the Bible for 18 years. And suddenly, at the age of 30, he comes onto the scene. He is baptized, performs miracles, begins to spread his teachings, and is eventually crucified. So what happened during those 18 years? Did Jesus go somewhere? Did he receive education from different cultures? Why is there almost no information about this period? Here are the strongest theories and evidence about Jesus' lost years. Let's examine it together. Why is it never mentioned in the Bible? The Bible's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John sections are the primary sources that tell the story of Jesus' life. However, the ages between 12 and 30 are completely skipped in these texts. Some historians put forward three main theories on this subject. 1. Jesus lived as an ordinary carpenter, so there was nothing noteworthy. 2. Some sections were intentionally omitted from the Bible. 3. It was known that Jesus lived in a different region during these years, but this information was lost over time. So was some information really intentionally omitted from the Bible? Some secret Christian writings known as apocryphal texts claim that Jesus traveled to distant lands during his youth and acquired different information. Let's examine these theories one by one. Theory 2. Was Jesus in India and Tibet? One of the most popular claims is that Jesus went to India in his youth and learned Buddhist and Vedic teachings. One of the most important sources supporting this claim is a book published by Russian researcher Nikolai Notovich in 1894. According to Notovich, he found ancient manuscripts in a Buddhist monastery in Tibet. These texts described a man known as Jesus, who went to India in his youth. The texts stated that Jesus studied with monks in India, lived in Buddhist monasteries, and increased his spiritual awareness. However, there are those who object to this theory. In the early 20th century, some historians claimed that Notovich's book was a forgery. They claimed that no such documents were found in monasteries in Tibet. Despite this, some Indian scholars say that the idea that Jesus was in India is still possible. There is even a tomb in Kashmir that is claimed to be the tomb of Jesus. This tomb, known as Rosabal, is considered by many to be the real resting place of Jesus. Is this really possible? Or is it a myth? Theory 3. Did Jesus learn secret knowledge in Egypt? According to another strong theory, Jesus went to Egypt in his youth and received spiritual training there. Egypt at that time was the center of Hermetic teachings. It contained the greatest knowledge in the world thanks to the great library of Alexandria. The secrets of the pyramids and ancient rituals were protected by Egyptian priests. Some researchers believe that Jesus was educated here. There is also a connection to Egypt in the Bible. Isa's family fled to Egypt upon King Herod's order to kill babies. However, did Jesus only stay there for a while? Or did he come back when he grew up and became a young man? Although we do not have definitive evidence for this, there are those who believe that Jesus gained esoteric wisdom in Egypt. Theory 4. The Essenes and the Qumran community. It is also claimed that Jesus lived with a mystical Jewish group called the Essenes during his youth. Who were the Essenes? They were a mysterious community that lived in the Qumran region outside of Jerusalem. They are thought to have written the Dead Sea Scrolls. They believed in spiritual purification, prayer, and a life devoted to God. Some researchers claim that Jesus spent time with the Essenes when he was young and learned their teachings. However, there is no definitive biblical record that supports this theory. Theory 5. Did Jesus go to Britain? This is one of the most radical theories. It is claimed that Jesus went to Britain and studied with Druid priests. According to this theory, Jesus went to Britain with his uncle Joseph. There he received spiritual knowledge from ancient Celtic and Druid priests. That is why some English churches claim that Jesus was actually in Britain. However, this theory is based entirely on legends and has very weak historical evidence. Theory 6. Did Jesus live an ordinary life? According to the most traditional view, during his missing years, Jesus worked as a carpenter, spent time with his family, lived an ordinary life in Jerusalem and the surrounding area. Christian sources argue that Jesus did not do anything extraordinary during his missing years, but simply waited for God's plan. This theory could also explain why these years are not mentioned in the Bible, because there was nothing special to tell. 7. What do modern science and historical research say? Today, modern historians and researchers propose many theories about Jesus' missing years. However, no archaeological evidence definitively proves that Jesus was in India, Egypt, or Europe. Some manuscripts provide interesting clues, but their authenticity is debatable. For this reason, Jesus' missing years remain a mystery. Conclusion. Are Jesus' lost years really lost? There is still no definitive answer to Jesus' lost years today. However, theories on the subject suggest the following. Jesus may have actually received education from different cultures. This information may have been intentionally omitted from the Bible. Or perhaps Jesus simply lived an ordinary life with his family. So what do you think is the truth? What do you think about this mystery? I'm waiting for your comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share it with your friends.